Hi everyone, my name is Joey. Welcome to my second video of Power Automate introduction. In my previous video, we created a Power Automate flow where you can download the email attachment when a new email arrives. Right? The problem with this flow is it doesn't really differentiate whether it is an inline attachment or whether it is a file attachment. It will just download every attachment within one email and save them into one folder. Right? But most of the time, I believe in reality, we probably only care about the file attachment. We don't really want to download every single inline attachment, things like pictures, banners, or icons into the folder, right? So let me give you an example so that you can understand what I'm talking about, right? So let me write an email to myself again, right? And this time I'm going to put a embedded embedded attachment like a picture, right? At the same time, I'm also going to attach a file into that. I'm still going to attach the DeepSeek API file that I used in last time, and I just click and put it subject text for Power Automate. Okay. So in such an email, probably we only care about the file attachment. Probably we don't really need to download the pictures, right? Because nowadays within email, because people want to make their email more rich in terms of contents, right? They probably put a lot of pictures, banners, or icons into the emails. So those are the things we don't really want to download. But if we're using the current automation flow, let's see how that works, right? So I send it, and the flow will be just running. Let me see whether it's running or not, right? Okay. Let's see. Okay, I haven't run yet. Still in process. Okay, it's completed, right? So now let me get into my team where I can access my OneDrive folder. Okay, you can see, right? So this time actually two attachments were uploaded into the OneDrive. One is the file attachment, and the one actually is the pictures embedded in the email, right? So this is actually something we don't really want to save. Otherwise, there will be just too many files in the folder, and we just lose the focus, right? So how to avoid this type of things? There are operations or ways that we can do in Power Automate, right? Let me delete these two files, right? Okay, let's go back to this flow and press edit. Okay, so we still start from a trigger when a new email arrives. Then after that, we need a operation where we can get the parameters for every attachment, right? With those parameters, then we can define or determine whether it is a embedded or inline attachment or whether it is a file attachment, right? So here we just need to have a get attachment operation. Make sure you select the right one because I'm using my Office 365, right? So I just need to use the get attachment under the Office 365 Outlook connector, right? So once you click that, you will have this interface where you need to input the parameters, right? So for the message ID, we want to look at the message from the previous step when a new email arrives. So we just choose the message ID, and then we also look at the attachment ID, right? Look at the attachment ID, right? So for now, all these, the rest of parameter, actually we don't really need that for now. So let's clear those. And down below, it's already connected to my Office 360 accounts, right? So this step is done. So once that's done, right, those within this get attachment operation, basically all the parameters associated with the attachment will be available. And then next step, we will just use the parameters to determine, use one of the parameters to determine whether it's a inline attachment or whether it's a file attachment, right? So here we just need to have a control. Control, putting a condition, right? So for the attachment, there is one parameter that we can use directly is inline. This one will just tell you whether a attachment is an inline attachment or it's a file attachment, right? So we just choose this one from the previous step, right? Let me do it again. Right. So from the get attachment step, we use the is inline. If equals to true, then it is an inline attachment, then we ignore that, right? So under the true, we don't really need to do any further steps, we just ignore that, right? And if it is false, right, then we just need to do something. If it is false, then we just save the attachment, right? So we can basically use the one we created previously. Just move this to here, and let me delete this for each for now. Right. Okay. So and also make sure in the create file we use the correct parameters. So we are still going to save the file into attachment, and then we need to link that to the correct get attachment. Basically, it's the file name from the get attachment, and also the content is also coming from the get attachment, the content bytes, right? So this is the file we want to save, right? So parameter is okay, right? With this, actually, it's already done, right? So we just add one more step. Before we save the file, we determine whether it's a file attachment. If it is a file attachment, we just save the file, right? So let's save this, and it's saving. And once it's done, I'll just press the test, right? Similar to the previous video, we do a manual test and click test. Now I just need to send a email similar to the email I sent previously. I need to copy the picture, use that as a inline attachment, and at the same time I attach a file and test or automate, and then click send. Then once my email account receive that email, then it will trigger that flow, and the flow will pop up here. Probably give it a few seconds. Okay, it's coming out. Okay, all right. Now you can see, right, it goes through all the steps, right? So let me open my team and then open my folder. Let's see what's in the attachment file. Okay, now you can see there is only one file. The inline attachment, that picture that I put into the email body, is ignored by these steps, right? So this kind of serve our purpose, only save the file attachment while ignoring the inline attachment, right? So this is one step, right? Another issue we probably encounter quite often is sometimes actually we will get a zip file, right? And then one way is we use this Power Automate to save the zip file onto the OneDrive or share drive, and then we do one more step manually to unzip that file and save the original file into a specific folder, right? But actually, Power Automate can also help you to unzip the file and save the original file, right? We just need to add one more step, right? So how do we do that? How do we do that? Here, we have already saved one file, right? Probably we just need to add a few more steps actually to see whether in this, after we save the file, right, we just need to say, okay, whether it is a zip file or whether it's a normal file. If it is a zip file, we do one more step to unzip the file, extract the original file and save. And if it is normal file, we just stop there, right? So similar to the condition in the previous, we just add, well, we need to add one more condition, right? And it is control and the condition, right? So we just need to input the dynamic parameters, right? So basically, how do we tell whether it's a zip file? Basically, we just need to know, okay, if the file name ends with .zip, then it is a zip file, right? So we just use this one, name. Here we say end with .zip, right? Then we will do something, right? If this condition is true, we will do something. So under the true, we will do one more step. So what the step we should use, right? Sometimes actually, because there are so many connectors, so many operations available within the Power Automate, sometimes you probably can get confused which operation you should be using, right? Here, actually, we can use the Copilot. That's the good thing about Power Automate. You can always go into the Copilot, right, and type your question or the operation that you want to achieve. Then it will just tell you a answer, right? It might not be exactly the right answer, but it will give you a good start point, right? For example, here I can ask how to extract a zip file. Okay, so Copilot basically tells you there is one operation that you can use, extract archive to folder, right? This is under the OneDrive for Business. This is exactly what we are looking for, right? Sometimes it will give you answers, right? Extract archive to folder action from the share drive or SharePoint connector, right? So those are in this case, those won't really serve our purpose, but this answer actually is exactly what we are looking for, right? So here we just click under the true. If the file name ends with .zip, we do something, right? So we just type extract. It's already mentioned it's under OneDrive, right? We can just type OneDrive. Okay. Okay, you can see, right? OneDrive for Business, there is one. Extract archive to folder, right? So we just click here. Okay. So here, We need to provide a bit more parameters to where we want to save the file, right? So the path to the archive file. So because in the previous step we have already saved the archive file, right? We just need to tell where is the archive file, right? So let's root and attachment. Okay, or we can just write, right? Attachment slash, and we can add one more because it should have the name, right? We have created the file, and then destination of the folder. We still want to save it under the attachment, right? So we just we still choose the save, choose the attachment, right? Attachments. Okay. And then there are also other parameters like do you want to override it, right? And probably let me choose yes. If there is exactly the same file name, then it will just override that. Right? With that actually it's done, we can do a test. Let's see. Let me save this. Okay, it's saved. And then let's do a test. Say manual and test. And now what I need to do basically is send myself another email. Test for Power Automate. This time I'm going to attach one embedded or inline attachment and then one attachment which is a zip file. I've already created a dummy zip file, then I just choose, right? Okay, then I just click send. Hopefully it will work. Then we just move back to our Power Automate interface to see to wait for the process to pop up. It takes a bit more time. Okay, it's coming out, so you can see everything is done. It's still running. Okay, it's done, right? So let's get into my team and then look at my file attachment, right? Okay, now you can see, right? So I've sent, in my email, I've sent one file attachment, which is a zip file, and also one inline attachment, which is a picture, right? And then in my folder, the process ignored the inline attachment, which is that picture, which is good. And then it also downloads the script file, the zip file, and then it did one more step to unzip or extract the original file and save it under the same drive, right? So you can see now here the script one.docx is the original file that's embedded in the script one.zip, right? So those are the process that's meeting our purpose. So basically, it's able to see whether it's a zip file. If it is a zip file, then it will extract original file and save it in the folder, right? Okay, of course we can add one more step, right? Because if you look at the folder, it's getting a little messy, right? Once the zip file is extracted, probably can say, okay, we can delete this file, right? Then we can add one more step in the Power Automate to say, okay, once this extract archive to file is successful, we delete original zip file. But here I'm not going to do that step, right? So this completes this simple example with 2 more steps added to the one that we created yesterday or in my previous video, right? Okay, I think that's all for this video. I hope the information provided in this video is clear and helpful. In the next videos, we are still going to use the example, but expand to slightly more complicated scenarios, so that basically we want to have a flow of scenarios that you can link and build and enhance gradually, right? Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.